Right, and welcome to another episode of Project Assemble with myself, Dwayne the Captain Coffee, and Nate from Thwip Media. How you doing, my friend? You all good?
Doing well. I'm really looking forward to this debate here. So,
Yeah, this is going to get heated, this is.
yeah, a lot of hot takes, as I'm sure we've discussed some of it on here, but you know a lot of takes I have on DC that you don't agree with, and yeah, so I'm looking forward to see what everyone thinks of those.
Yes, definitely. Like I say, yeah, if you're joining us live or anything, or if you're watching this at a later date, please let us know in the comments below what you think about our takes on Marvel and DC, who you think might be better, and yeah, just all that rigmarole and that lot. Because yeah, this is gonna be fun, and this is gonna be very intense. Let's say.
Yeah,
I'm already repping my boys as well, and that lot. So Marvel all the way.
and I was planning on wearing a Batman one, but I couldn't find it, so I've got my Spider-Man on.
Right, well, but first, before we get into anything else, over to Nate with the tiebreaker question for today's episode.
All right, so if you had to choose any project from DC that you had, like one of the ones that you hate, that you, like you're forced to watch, which one would you watch?
Oh, God. Oh, Jesus wept. Oh, you're throwing that one at me. Gee. Right, there's two that I'm really torn between. Now, the first one is the one of the films I've only ever fell asleep to, and that's the new Robert Pattinson Batman. I couldn't stand it. If I had to watch it again, I'd be pulling my teeth out, but I'd watch it sort of thing. Oh, hello everybody. I'm team DC. Raz from Raz Talk. Thanks for joining us, mate. But
Thanks for joining.
We'll have less of that.
Raz is with me.
Yeah, definitely. but it's either that new Robert Pattinson Batman or the Wonder Woman film.
The first one?
Yeah,
Wow.
none of that. I'd begrudgingly watch them two. If I had to, I'd begrudgingly watch them. I just can't stand either of them.
Now, did you
really
watch the
can't.
second Wonder Woman?
No, because I couldn't stand the first one.
Okay. So the second
I just
one,
can't. I'll be
the
honest.
second one is hot garbage. The first one,
Oh, is it?
it's terrible. The first one is really good, personally.
I just can't do it. Just cannot. I've tried watching that Robert Pattinson one 3 times. First time I fell asleep because I was on holiday. Just couldn't stand it. Second one, I got about halfway through, and the Riddler looked like stupid. Best thing about it was what's his name as Penguin. He was brilliant. And then I tried it for another third time. Got about 10 minutes into it, and I just had to switch it off again. I just can't. He's not Batman. He's not Batman.
I think it's a masterpiece. It's so good.
Wonder Woman 84 is awful.
Rez,
that's what we like to hear, Raz. Good lad.
what are your thoughts on the Batman, Rez? I want to know what you think of the Batman. So for me,
what would you sell?
So I hate to say it, but it might be the theatrical Justice League if I had to. If I had to watch one. And as much as I hate it, like I'd probably just, even if I was watching it, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not like paying any attention to it. I'm seeing what the true vision is in my head while this nonsense is happening in front of me. So yeah, that's
pretty
probably
much how I was like watching that Batman, to be honest.
I don't understand that. I really don't. Like the entire opening, that didn't hook you at all. I don't understand.
I just couldn't. It just was not my thing at all. Just seeing him as Batman, I just want to slap him.
Now, who would you say is the best cinematic Batman that you've seen?
Ooh. It's got to be Christian Bale. Christian Bale all day long. That we'll get into it. Batman is the only one I give credit for. Look.
Yeah, there you go.
It's the only one I can give credit for. I love playing the Arkham games until the last one, which was just atrocious.
Arkham Knight?
Yes, that's what Batgirl, Robin.
Oh no, that's Gotham Knights. That's kind of like disconnected.
Gotham Knights, yeah. Batman was a little slow, but I can see the potential. I need more. They are doing a second Batman, isn't there?
Yeah. And then there's the Penguin show that's coming later this year. That's like the in-between kind of.
Now that I could watch. I thought he was brilliant as Penguin. He looked just spot on. He looked perfect as Penguin.
Yeah.
But
definitely.
The rest of it can just be thrown in the bin. Like, was it? It's at the end of that film, isn't it, where you see the teaser of the Joker?
Yeah.
Or is that a deleted scene? No, it was the end of the film, wasn't it? What the hell is that?
It's supposed to be different. It's a different universe, and I think that's the best Gotham has ever looked on in the movies.
Oh yeah. The look of Gotham, dark, dingy, that looked really good. I'll give that again. I'll give that its due. Stop falling on me. Stay there. I'll give that its due. Sort of thing. The look of it, spectacular. But the people playing the actors, no. Sorry, I can't. I just cannot do it.
All right. Well, we'll move past that for now.
Yeah. We'll get into the main thing, the main source we talk now. Yeah, go on. I'll let you take it away, and I'll just be an angry old man shaking fist at cloud.
All right. So, as you could probably tell just by that intro, Marvel Mad really only likes Marvel, aside from a few Batman things, and I like both. I'm kind of like I don't know, maybe a 60-40 or a 70-30 on higher on the Marvel side, but I still enjoy the DC stuff. So we're gonna
I'll
discuss.
give you my take. And my take's about 85 to 15. That's fair enough, I think, for me. 85 Marvel, 15 to Batman. Literally it.
Just
Batman.
Batman.
Not even DC, just Batman.
All right. Well, okay. So we're gonna discuss the movies, shows, games, and comics, and we're gonna decide which one is the best at the very end. After a pretty lengthy debate on all of them.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
All right. So starting off with the movies. On the DC side, we're gonna start with DC. For me, I say the Dark Knight trilogy, Zack Snyder's trilogy with Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, the Ultimate Edition, and Zack Snyder's Justice League, and Watchmen are probably the best DC movies.
I totally forgot about Watchmen, to be honest. I'll give you that one as well. I totally forgot that was part of DC.
So good.
Totally. Watchmen, yes, that it's a good film. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but it's a good film.
Visually,
it is a good film. I did.
It's beautiful.
Oh yeah. Just the look of it and that lot, just especially for its time as well. Because what, Jesus Christ, that's
2009, I
15
think.
years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 15 years old, isn't it, Ali? Yeah. So yeah, look of it for that time as well, outstanding.
Yeah, it was ahead of its time, and just the style of it was so good. There's some other
very unique as well, sort of thing, because you'd never really seen that at that time as well. You'd never really seen that sort of thing. So
it was probably the darkest like superhero movie at the time. Was that one?
Oh yeah.
There's some very mature things in that too. So yeah, there's some other good DC movies, but I could rewatch any of those ones any day.
I'll give credit for your Dark Knight trilogy. Yeah, I could watch them till the cows come home. Brilliant storylines, brilliant acting, action, everything. Like the Scarecrow, I absolutely love the Scarecrow in that lot.
Yeah,
it was one of. I know everybody goes for like Joker and stuff like that sort of thing, but the psychological manipulation and stuff like that, the Scarecrow, love him, absolutely love him. That's why I loved him in. Was it the? He was the first Batman as well, weren't he? He was a big part of that one, weren't it? Because he had the giant Scarecrow boss fight as well.
I think in Arkham Asylum.
Arkham Asylum, yeah. See, anything Scarecrow, adore, absolutely adore it. But I just can't. To the others, I can't do it. Cannot do it.
So Rez knows that I'm a huge fan of the Snyder movies, so I'm sure he can agree with me on those. But those three are like incredible, each of them. Like Man of Steel is really good. I don't consider it like a masterpiece, but I really enjoy it. But Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition and Justice League are like master classes in, I guess, comic book movies in general. Like I think Batman v Superman is so misunderstood. It's like a huge metaphor basically, with Superman being like everyone hates him because he destroyed Metropolis, and they just think he's there to destroy the world. And Batman is a metaphor for the people because he's trying to stop Superman. Everyone's afraid of him. They want him dead. Basically all that. And just the complex story. And with the Ultimate Edition, it gives it more like development. Like you actually understand what Lex Luthor is doing and all that. In the theatrical, you're like, what the heck is going on? But in the Ultimate Edition, it's so good. And then Wonder Woman's entrance at the end when they fight Doomsday, the music, the three of them. Is she with you? No, I thought she was with you. And then the shot of the three of them, I get goosebumps every time. It's so good.
I said I'll give you credit. I don't know. I'm not seeing the Ultimate one at all, so I can't say yes or no to that sort of thing. So I'll hold my hands up there, but it just was nothing. It was just nothing for me. I like it's probably because I've only seen like the theatrical version that lot, so I just can't justify watching it again because I just didn't connect with me, sort of thing. And I was really hoping seeing Matt Damon, no
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck, that was it.
Yeah.
Seeing him as Batman, I thought he looks really good as Batman. I thought I could take that sort of thing.
So good.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. The suits, perfect. And again, just looked just spot on. But it was just the acting of it, and it was just all. He don't look like Lex Luthor as well.
I thought he was really good. He's supposed to
I
be
just
that kind of
can't.
psychotic, rich kid kind of behavior. Like he's supposed to be crazy,
Yeah,
and I think he did really well in it.
I just couldn't. I really couldn't.
All right. Well,
I just was.
did you see Justice League?
Go on. No, I just can't. I, again, it's one of those films that I could probably watch about half hour and then just bored this. Just gotta go.
Okay, I can give you that
It's,
because that one's 4 hours, so I can understand if it's
I just
a bit long.
I just can't. But this I mean, I don't mind long films because I've watched bloody is it Return of the King?
Lord of the Rings, yeah.
What's yeah, one of the Lord of the Rings ones that was just like went on forever. But I loved Lord of the Rings. I absolutely loved Lord of the Rings. Oh, here we go. Batman vs Superman was so different. I admit, like everyone else, I was caught off guard. I was shocked, but in the end, I appreciated it. Again, best thing that looked like out for them was Batman's suit.
It's
Or suits, I
probably
should say. I love them.
one of the most like divisive comic book movies I think of all time. There's a huge group of
Yeah.
people that absolutely hate it, and then there's a group of people that love it.
Mm.
And I don't know. It's weird how that happens sometimes with some of the movies. How like it's like a huge divide, and then it's like a war between
Yeah.
them. Um, so yeah, what
But
would you say are DC's best movies in your opinion?
right before I say that, with you saying about the divide between its own fan base between a film and that, with one thing I can probably 99% assure with Marvel is they've not got a film like that. I cannot think of any Marvel film and there's a massive fan base that absolutely adore it, and there's a massive fan base that absolutely hate it. With Marvel in general, that I think myself, what I've seen is either they all love it or they all hate it. Like loads of people hated the Eternals, loads of people loved like the Avengers Endgame and stuff like that. Sort of thing. There was no like two or throw sort of thing. That's
The
one thing I can guarantee with Marvel fans.
the interesting one recently though is I don't know why people do this, but one person finds one nitpick of like Spider-Man No Way Home, and then everyone's like, "Oh
Right.
yeah, this movie's garbage." So like everyone's
Oh
like
really?
piling on that one nitpick, and then they're saying the entire movie's garbage. While
Oh right.
a
I
lot
never
of other
realised
people
that, to be
love,
honest.
like it's one of the best MCU movies in my opinion.
Oh yeah, yeah, hundred
So I
percent.
don't know
Oh, I
why
never
people do
realised
that.
that. Oh no, I didn't. I genuinely didn't realise that. To be honest, okay, I'll hold my hands up there and that lot. No, I didn't
It's
realise
I
that.
don't get why people's thoughts change that radically, like so fast. It
But
makes no sense.
a lot of people as well, when you do stuff like that, it's like they can literally, they just nitpick on one tiny little thing, and then that's it. Just
Exactly.
everybody else has to agree with them. And
It's
it's just
even like a stupid
no,
nitpick. It's not even like a like that
no,
important to the
exactly.
overall movie. It's just like I didn't like how this person walked. Okay, we're gonna hate the movie.
Yeah,
It makes no sense.
ridiculous. No, exactly. But anyway, for me, I'd always put the Dark Knight trilogy top front and center all day long, that lot. And then it probably, I don't know whether it surprised you or not, sort of thing that lot. But Joaquin Wilde's The Joker. Uh,
Oh yeah, yeah. Joaquin Phoenix.
yeah, Joaquin Phoenix. Sorry, Wild. I told you I'm terrible with names. But yeah, that Joker film as well. I could watch that all day long.
Depressing,
That's why I was.
but
Oh yeah, it's depressing as hope, but it was a nice to see. Like you don't, I know he's supposed to be the bad guy now, but it was just nice to have a film just centered on him, and I
yeah.
thought that was just really fascinating to watch. And I was like, that is just outstanding. Yeah, thank you. And then you see what they're doing for the second one, and it's just like, oh,
It doesn't need
why?
one. It doesn't need one.
No, no. I'd take a second film, but not like that. Not like that at all.
It's
Uh, yeah, for me, them.
for the second Joker. All I could see that being is just trying to get him another Oscar, and then try to
Yeah,
get Lady Gaga an Oscar for playing Harley Quinn. Um,
yeah.
Other than that,
That's
like
it.
I'll see it just to see what it is, but I'm not like
Yeah.
excited for it.
No, no, exactly a lot. I don't mind musicals as well. I'll gladly watch a musical, but not in Gotham. Music and Gotham do not go together.
If it was to happen, though, it would be Joker, so it makes sense in that
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
realm. So like we both have our favorite DC movies, but we can agree for the most part, a lot of it is a mess.
yes.
Zack Snyder had a direction, and the studio interfered and said, we're like way behind from Marvel. We need to catch up to them right now. And they fit 10 years of content in 3 movies. Or 4, I guess. So they were trying to rush the process and introduce all these characters way too fast. And then after that, they just kind of like, we're going to greenlight this, we're going to greenlight this, we're going to greenlight this. And it just makes no sense. And then they ended up canceling a lot of it. It's just a massive headache for, like, I guess any fan of DC. Like, I was looking forward to, I don't know if you're familiar with them, but there's a team called the New Gods that Jack Kirby created. And
No.
they were supposed to be getting a movie from, oh, I forget her name, but she's done a lot of, like, very, like, big Disney movies, I think. And
Oh, okay.
they were, like, in the middle of, like, very much, like, developing it. Like, they were far in the process, and then they canceled it.
Yeah, but when didn't that happen to what's his name? Is it Brendan Fraser?
Yeah, the Batgirl movie.
He was
they
doing
just completely canceled it, and it was fully shot. Like, they just completely got rid of it. Yeah.
See, now that I'd have looked forward to seeing that, to be honest, because I think that had been quite an interesting one as well. Because was he playing like
Firefly,
the Riddler or something like that? Oh, Firefly, sorry.
Yeah, but
see, that would have been really interesting to see.
The guys
the
guys that made that worked on Miss Marvel, and they did the last 2 Bad Boys movies.
Okay, New Gods with a young dark side.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So the reason they canceled it is because Zack Snyder's Justice League came out and Darkseid was in it. And they were like, okay, well, now if we do this, people are going to be like, well, is it connected to that? Is it, like, on its own? They're like, it's just going to be too confusing. But they could have just made him look different. They could have just explained that, like,
yeah,
it doesn't make any sense why you hire all these people to work on stuff. No. And then you're like, yeah, forget about it. We paid you, like, take the money, but we're not going to move forward with this.
Well, this is what I don't get. I know with Marvel, there's a lot of stuff that's pushed back indefinitely. Like, you got the Blade film and like Thunderbolt's been pushed back. Obviously, the Avengers films and stuff like that sort of thing. Fantastic Four, they've always been pushed back. But apart from, oh God, I can't even think of anything that's literally been canned or cancelled now, that sort of thing. I think, was there a Wonder Man one that got cancelled, or
that's
is
still
that
happening.
Pushed back as well?
I'm pretty sure, I can't remember if it's 100% true, but I think I saw Armor Wars was cancelled.
Oh, yeah, that was...
And the Vision one, Vision Quest. I think that one was cancelled too.
Oh, yeah. But that's what I mean. There's only sporadic ones with Marvel. There's only been sporadic ones like when they've set out to do something, 9 times out of 10, they will do it.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. It's like, yeah, they might push it back a bit to try and fit in with other things, or like we've said, and they've done to this year, they just had like a clean slate. But look, we'll only have this, and then maybe some at the end. That's just done, but we're going to try and even it out a bit.
Yeah,
that's all Marvel do. There's nothing about like spending so much money and then just literally wasting it and going, oh no, we don't need that anymore. And that's one thing as well that I'm quite happy with Marvel, that they've got the plans and they're not going to screw anybody over to keep within their plans. They'll just go like, no, it's happening, just get time, sort of thing. So
it's not good business on DC's part, like Warner Brothers just completely wiping all these projects away. It's a bad look on them.
Yeah.
Inhumans?
Oh yeah, no, yes, I do apologise. Yeah, the Inhumans, that was cancelled. The TV series, yeah, that did one series, didn't it? So
yeah, because they said it was a movie and then they turned it into the show, which we will not talk about because
atrocious. Yeah,
that was something.
Yeah, exactly.
So now on to Marvel. Sorry.
Oh god, no. I say that when we get to TV series as well, that's another thing I'll give DC credit for, but again, we'll get there.
All right, so now for the Marvel side of the movies, most of the MCU is amazing. There's also some like non-MCU movies that are really good. Some examples I had were like the Avengers movies, obviously, the Spider-Man trilogy, Captain America trilogy, Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy, the Spider-Verse movies, and then like the Raimi Spider-Man movies. For the most part, were good. Like Spider-Man 2 is one of the best. Spider-Man 3 was meh, and then Spider-Man 1
Yeah.
was good. But they also had a consistent cinematic universe that had a clear direction.
Mm.
Like they knew this
Yeah.
is what we're going to, and then they built that plan, a linear story for over 10 plus years, and it worked. And it's still going on, but lately it hasn't been the same quality
No.
as it once was.
Yeah.
I said Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was probably the last Marvel movie that really made me like say like that's a good movie. Like
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah.
and just like with them introducing all these new characters, it's like, well, what like warrants it a movie or a show? How do
Yeah.
you tie all these different stories together? Because they got so much going on now, and a part of like how they've got Marvel Studios, television, and animation. So now they're starting to say you don't have to watch everything to know the story. If you watch the Marvel television, that's basically like it could be its own thing. Animation could be its own thing. And then the studios will be its own thing too. But in the end, you're going to have to tie it all together somehow with all the characters coming together for
Mm.
Secret Wars and all that. But just lately, they've kind of lost their footing.
Yeah. Would you say that definitely series and TV, series and movies? Yeah, they'll definitely have to merge somewhere down the line, especially like say Secret Wars and get all the characters together and that lot.
Yeah.
But don't you think, especially with the X-Men '97, how well that's done? Don't you think that could literally just have its own separate thing and have their own
Yeah, definitely.
Avengers and stuff like that sort of thing? So not necessarily have to merge the animation with them, but the other two definitely are. But that third animation, that can be an entity on its own.
Yeah.
Myself, I can think of that.
Definitely. And
Like
it
if
makes
they
sense
can bring
too.
back, yeah, exactly. If they could bring back the Spider-Man from the '90s,
Yeah.
we've already seen him. Bring back the Iron Man from the '90s. Bring back
Hulk.
the Fantastic Four from the '90s. Hulk, yeah. You bring all them back, have it in its own central thing because we've already seen it in X-Men '97. You've got that series there, just ready to go now, that sort of thing. So, yeah, just with animation a lot, absolutely fantastic. But I definitely understand what you're saying about them losing the footing in recent years because as soon as Endgame and Infinity Wars and Endgame, after that, I think, especially because of the pandemic as well,
Yeah.
they just literally just tried to cram so much in. Or buy Disney Plus, you can have all this. We'll put this, and on. And they just try to throw everything at the wall and just hope something sticks, sort of thing. I definitely agree with you that the latest from the recent films and everything, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was just absolutely amazing, and for me puts it up there with the Captain America trilogy
Yeah.
all day long, that lot. And I think, again, like I say, we've spoken on the channel as well, that's why they're having this sort of fresh year, just to go, look, all our main focus is on Deadpool and Wolverine. Make that amazing. We've got, was it Agatha all along at the end of the year?
Yeah. And then they've said the Spider-Man show and the animated Wakanda one too. But
Oh, right. Oh, I didn't realize that.
I can't see both of them coming out at the end of the
No.
year at the same time. Like that seems like
Was-
three things at the end of the year. That seems like they're packing in a lot there.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got What If for season 3 of What If as well, eventually as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
So, see, that's another one that's going to eventually turn up. So I'm like, just concentrate and do it slowly but surely, sort of thing. But no, I'm hoping this year, this like fresh start for this new year, now, with them just doing like this. I hope this brings them back to point because I think this is what they needed, and just have a clear direction again, and then they can start again from next year, sort of thing. But yeah, I just think there's not a lot of things that have gone wrong with Marvel, and
Definitely.
it's only been the last 3 or 4 years that they've hit a sort of brick wall and stumbling block, and then it's took this year to go, no, we'll rewrite it all again and we'll start afresh. So
Yeah. So out of the two with Marvel and DC, obviously Marvel has a lot more movies too. But you can see the kind of like where the quality lies, I guess, for which one. Onto the shows now for DC. I haven't seen many of the shows. I saw most of Arrow. I don't know if you know that one.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
saw maybe the first 2 or 3 seasons of The Flash. Um,
Again, yeah, I've watched a bit of that. I just
it's just the quality for those just went down the drain too. Like I don't know what happened
this
with
is what
them.
I'll say. This is what I'll say about DC with series and that lot. I do think the series are better for DC than they are Marvel. I'll say that all day long. So the only two, for me, the only two series that I really enjoyed was obviously the Loki series, both season one, season two, fantastic,
Hmm.
and then WandaVision. I said I put Captain America, Falcon the Winter Soldier up there as well. That I enjoyed, but I would say, looking back, I preferred probably from season one to season maybe 4 or 5 of Shield as well.
True.
Before that, just
Yeah.
fell off a cliff as
Yeah.
well. I think after I think they got Ghost Rider in
Yeah.
Shield.
It was.
After that season, it just went all over the shop.
I stopped the one before they went to space. I think I started that
Yeah,
one and I was like, no, I'm good.
this is what I mean. But for DC, I I've watched Arrow. I enjoyed probably the first season or two, but I just wasn't for me. I was never really bothered about Arrow and that lot. I just again a very biased head on Met. It was a cheap man's version of Hawkeye. I know I probably shouldn't say that, but it was just how I felt. But I just couldn't get into it. But I know Arrow has done quite well in that line. It's always been very well received, especially when they had all the episodes where they merged in between with the
Yeah.
Flash and Supergirl, I
Supergirl.
think, wasn't it?
Yeah. And there
So,
was
so
like
I
three
know
or
all
four
that lot.
others.
Yeah, so I know that lot was all very well received that lot, and again with Flash as well. That got well received and everything. Oh, here we go. My favourite DC series are the Flash season 1 to 4, Arrow season 1 to 3, Titans all seasons.
Okay, so
Titans I
Titans,
won't be able to tell.
I watched
I just
3 seasons, I think, of Titans. The last one I saw was the one that ended with Scarecrow, and that one, like the build up in those shows is strong, and then the finales just absolutely ruin it. Like
oh really?
season 2, I don't know if you know Deathstroke.
No, yeah, no Destiny.
So
Yeah.
Deathstroke was the villain of that season. As soon as the finale
All
starts,
right.
there's maybe like a 10-minute fight scene, and he dies in it, and it's like,
What?
what? Yeah, exactly. That was my
No.
reaction. I was like, no, they
No.
can't. There's no
No,
way.
you can't do that to Deathstroke. Not a chance.
So I was mad about that.
Jesus.
Season 3,
Oh,
the ending for that was just garbage.
and Superman and Lois
I've
Lane, of
heard
course.
good things about that. I have heard good things about that one.
One thing I do want to watch, and again I've heard good things about that as well, is Gotham.
Yeah, I was just about to say
I say,
Gotham. I watched
I
all
say,
of Gotham.
again I've heard good things about that sort, and that's something I do want to watch. I think I watched the first season or two, I think maybe, or something. I'm not too sure, but I watched bits and bobs that I never really got properly into it, but I did enjoy it. So with seasons, like series and stuff like that, I'll always say it, begrudgingly say it. I do think DC has the edge in that. I do always.
Now, another one I had was Watchmen, the show. I don't know if you saw
Mhm.
that. That was incredible.
No,
Um,
I said another one I wouldn't mind seeing because
and then
I totally forgot Watchmen was DC. I really did.
and then I don't
Gotham,
know if you saw
yes.
too, Batman the animated series, one of the best, I think, animated
Oh, is that
series too.
that's the one from the 90s, isn't
The
it?
Kevin Conroy, yeah.
That was yeah. So yeah, again, I could watch that one. I didn't mind that. I told you, Batman. I could watch Batman. I could do it.
Yeah. So DC has some really, really strong shows, and then there's some that are really, really bad. So it's like it kind of evens out. Like for me, a lot of like the CEW shows that like Arrow and the
Watchmen,
Flash
DC, and
are those.
Vertigo. Yeah, I didn't realize that, Raz. To be honest, I totally forgot about that. So
Um, So yeah, they have a lot of really bad ones, and then they have some good ones too. So it's kind of like the movies in a sense, for me at least, where I have some that I really enjoyed, and then a lot of them I'm like, yeah, that it just looks like garbage, or it was a complete waste of time. So yeah, that's all I can say about the DC shows.
This is what I mean. I do think the DC ones are probably more higher rated than the Marvel ones as well now. Because what Miss Marvel was okay. Um, what if season 1, season 2 they were good, but it wasn't like outstanding. Obviously, you got Shield that just petered off a cliff. That lot. Obviously, the Humans that was just
Yeah. Oh,
atrocious.
Agent Carter. Agent Carter was good.
Oh no, yes. Agent Carter was really good. Now, like I
Yeah.
said, that's another one. I totally forgot about that one. Yeah, that was another one that I'd put up there with. Well, WandaVision, Loki, and Falcon and Winter Soldier. I would put that there because I did totally forget about that one. And that sort of, what's the word? That quenched my thirst to see Agent Carter in more things. 'Cause I thought she was brilliant, and I was
Yeah.
glad to see her in What If, as well as Doctor Strange and everything. Captain America, the Winter Soldier, I love that one. Falcon, yeah, Captain America, Winter Soldier, but Falcon, the Winter Soldier. I say that I just adored that. Seeing Sam come from the Falcon and giving up the shield and that lot to becoming the new Captain America. I have to fight. I'll say now, when I'm at work, speaking with the lads, I have to fight tooth and nail to say he is a good Captain America.
He is a good Captain
I have
America.
to fight because
He rightfully earned
thank
that.
you.
He rightfully earned that.
Exactly that lot. But you try and tell the lads at work that lot, and he's just some prat that flies around. I'll die on my hill to say he's a good Captain America. That lot, I'll bleed adore him.
You can
But
always
hello.
throw the racist card at them, saying that they're racist too.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Are you staying or are you going?
I'm going.
You're going, okay.
Bye.
Eleanor says bye-bye, hello.
Um,
But yeah, exactly. It just frustrates me. Really just frustrates me.
yeah. So for Marvel, I said the ones that have like really been great for me were Loki, Moon Knight, and X-Men '97. Those are the three that have really stood out to
Moon
me.
Knight as well. Yeah, I would say Moon Knight for its sheer differentness as well. Not lie, I enjoyed it, but I can't put it up there with that higher echelon of series as with the other ones. But I did enjoy it. Again, that's another one. I totally forgot about that one, but that is another one that was really, really good now.
Yeah. So
And
a
proves
lot
that
of
Marvel can do series well.
yeah, like different kinds of like genres too, like across all of them basically. So a lot of the Marvel shows have flaws, like a lot of the Disney Plus ones do. It's a new like ground to cover basically for the studio. Like they're just starting. Well, obviously they made TV before, but in this universe, like everything takes place in the MCU. They're trying to find their footing on
Yeah.
that. So I can understand why most of it isn't great. I guess it just comes down to who you hire to, write these projects and direct them and try to keep it in that vision. So yeah, that's where Marvel lies for me.
Really, Raz talk. Jesus, where?
Hawkeye for me was hype.
Moon Knight was a waste of time, like Hawkeye for me. I was no.
Hawkeye was
Again,
fun.
that's another one as well. Hawkeye as well.
Hawkeye
Hawkeye
was
was
fun.
really good.
Yeah.
Introducing Kate Bishop. No, Raz. Come on, dear me.
I really like Moon Knight because it's like a completely different character for them to go with, but the whole psychological journey, like through all of it, and then the action too. That it's really dark too. It's probably one of the darkest ones.
For me,
It's
it's the
just so
Egyptian
good.
stuff. I love Egyptian stuff now. Like I
Yeah.
say, as growing up as a kid, I was just fascinated by the pyramids and sarcophaguses and gods and everything.
Yeah.
So to see that like portrayed in a series that lot, I've not really ever really seen it apart from like the Mummy and Mummy Returns and stuff like that sort of thing. But to me, they were more jokeified.
Yeah.
if you can get him in that lot. But to see it like this, just amazing, really, really good in that lot. So
I mean,
I was really surprised it went with that sort of character as well.
Raiders of the Lost Ark kind of does that too a little bit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
But again, that was very old. Like the graphics and everything was just.
it's a masterpiece of a movie. It's one of my favorites.
Oh, it's good. It's good, but I don't know about half of Hawkeye was good because I wanted to see Ronin. Oh,
I can say with that, it would have been cool if we had Clint still as Ronin throughout the
Yes.
series, and he was training Kate as the only Hawkeye, because she is Hawkeye going forward. But it would have been cool
yeah.
if he still kind of was Ronin in some way, because I think he's like in Secret Invasion, he's really good as Ronin for that series, in the comics, not the show.
I tell you what, yeah, saying that as well, then Echo as well. Echo was being fantastic. I absolutely adored Echo in that lot. How violent it was in that lot. It's probably one of the violentest series that Marvel's ever done as well, that sort of thing. So to see that and how it portrayed her being deaf as well, and then be able to communicate and seeing her relationship and like her spiritual roots and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
I absolutely adored Echo in that last night. I'd seen more series like that as well, and popping all at once as well, so you could just binge watch it.
Yeah.
Marvel needs to do that more.
And I actually did that. I watched it all in like one afternoon. So it was great doing that.
Echo was meh. Echo was meh.
It's not amazing, but I enjoyed it personally.
Just move on because I just
All
can't.
right. So that's all I had to say about the Marvel shows. So I think between Marvel and DC in terms of shows, that one's a hard one for me.
The only good thing was Kingpin. Behave yourself. Come on.
You can't deny.
Kingpin was good.
You can't deny he was a presence in it.
Oh yeah, Kingpin was brilliant. Yeah, he was brilliant. But
all right.
But for me, I'll always admit, for me, DC takes it. I've always said Marvel will take it for films, DC takes it for series because it just, I don't know, it's just the more grittier and I don't know, I can't explain it, but I do think DC had it for series myself. I say, coming from a diehard Marvel fan, I'll always admit that.
Yeah, I'd have to say maybe like as much as I love X-Men 97 and that's like in the back of my head for Marvel, like I can't dethrone that as like the best like for Marvel, but yeah, I might have to say DC for series. As much as I hate saying that X-Men 97 doesn't hold up to that.
But
right.
I think now as well, if the series carry on as good as they have been, it's like X-Men 97, Echo. I don't know what they're going to do with Agatha all along. That's just completely out there now. But if it can be as good, then I think they might have turned the corner on it, and the series can punching on their own. So
yeah. So yeah, you ready to move on to the games?
Yep.
All right. So for DC, obviously the Batman Arkham series is like god tier. It's like some of the best games I've ever played. And I just want to say Arkham Origins is supremely underrated.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. So
I know,
like all them games, I think they're being fantastic.
I know a lot of people say Arkham Origins is horrible. I think it's next to Arkham City, it's the best story.
Yeah, no, I completely understand that sort of thing. I say I'll praise the Arkham games to the hilt. I say apart from what was it, Gotham Knights? We said
that one's like loosely connected, but it's kind of its separate thing.
Yeah, that was atrocious. I sent that back straight away because I couldn't stand that. And then I tried a bit of, I think it was the 1 hour trials you can get on the PlayStation for the newest one,
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, tried that for a bit, and my lord, that's all over the shop.
Yeah.
No, just no.
Just from what I've like, I'll get to it, but from what I've seen and heard, it's like there's nothing to do once you finish it. It's like There's
Yeah.
nothing. So they were kind of like, I guess, like they thought of what it was going to be, and then afterwards they're like, okay, well, what do we do with these characters now? Like, what do you do when you play the game after the story? And what's sad about that is that it is in the same universe as the Arkham games. That's what's really sad
Yeah,
about it.
don't. That's just whoa.
Doesn't make any sense why they kept it there.
No.
And then like the whole Batman death thing too. A lot of people are super mad about that. I personally haven't seen the scene at all, so I don't know what happens. I know he dies,
Oh,
but it's like a
yeah.
lot of people were not happy with it.
No, you don't want to see it either because it's just pointless, absolutely pointless. It just no, it's, whoa.
It's sad.
It's frustrating to watch it as well.
I have to say the Lego Batman series was really fun though. I grew up on those.
Oh yeah, yeah,
The Injustice. I don't know if you played those, but those were fun.
yeah, yeah. I didn't mind them at all. I thought they were brilliant.
Yeah, really cool story for those. And then, like you said, Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad are like really, really bad. The gameplay is super flawed for all of them. The stories suck, and there's nothing to do once you've done it. So the games for DC, for the most part, like Arkham, Injustice, the Lego games are really good. And then you have all these side ones that are like, yeah, we can forget about those. Like those don't need to ever be touched by anyone
Yep.
ever again.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's all I have to say about the games for DC.
I'd say pretty much the same, to be honest. Now, like, I say, for me, especially with games that lot, it's a very, very evenly balanced between Marvel and DC for the games that lot. I say, for DC, I'd always rate any of the Arkham games. I could play them till the cows come home. Lego games as well, absolutely fantastic. Injustice as well, and I like just for me, just pummeling the shit out of fucking Superman over and over again. I adored it. I thought they were brilliant. But other than that, there's only what 6 games, maybe something like that, and in total, maybe 10 if you had all the different Lego ones, stuff like that. They've not got a lot. But then you go to Marvel. The list is, for me, it's never ending. There's loads of things you can do in them. Marvel vs. Capcom 1, 2, and 3, fantastic. Don't think about the fourth one. The fourth one was atrocious. Spider-Man, both Spider-Man games, even the old Spider-Man games on the PlayStation 2 and that lot, just brilliant. That lot, just the Lego games. I'm replaying the Lego games on the channel. Fantastic. That lot. Guardians of the Galaxy, absolutely unbelievable. That lot. Midnight Suns, a quiet hit. I never really thought it was going to be decent at all in that lot, and then I played it and I fell in love with it. It's just, I've not, in my time, again, I know I'm big biased Marvel and stuff like that sort of thing, but in my time, I've not really played a bad Marvel game. Apart from, well, I could say one. I played from one bad Marvel game, and that was the fourth Marvel vs. Capcom.
Did you play the Avengers?
I like the Avengers. It got a bit repetitive, but I liked it. I really did, not a lot.
Okay, so I played that a lot because I got it like later, like after a while after it came out, and when they started adding more characters to it, that's when I was like playing it the most. And then, like
Black
you said,
Panther,
it's just
Spider-Man.
Black Panther was like I played as him all the time because I like I fully upgraded him. I got everything, all his abilities. And he was just so awesome. But it got to the point where it was like too easy. It's too repetitive.
Yeah.
And like, I wish it was like more of an open world kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like you said, like the Insomniac series, like all three of them so far have been amazing. Some of my favorite games of all time. Marvel vs. Capcom, Lego Marvel Superheroes. And they've got some really intriguing ones coming up. Like they've got the Iron Man one, they've got a Black Panther one, and they've got the Marvel 1943.
That I cannot wait for that. That looks bleeding fantastic. That is definitely going up on the channel as soon as that comes out. Because my lord, I can't wait for that.
That's gonna be crazy. And then, like I haven't finished Guardians of the Galaxy, so I can't really give my full thoughts. But it's it's okay in my opinion so far.
Oh, okay.
Avengers was okay for the most part until like they just shut it down, and then I grabbed all the MCU skins, and then I just never touched it again. And then there's some other ones that like you won't think of that weren't really that popular. Like they have all these like games that release maybe, like three a year, and then only one of them is really like really talked about. Like
Yeah.
I didn't play Midnight Suns. Personally, that's not like my kind of game to play. I don't really like the
Yeah.
click and drag and tell them to do this. I like actually being them
Mm.
and being able to control what they
Yeah.
do. So yeah, that's all I have to
See,
say.
that's what I mean there. With that, I was totally opposite, and I was like, "Oh my lord, what the hell is this?" and stuff like that. But actually, when you get into it, and it can be very strategic. It's like, right, if I use this card to do that attack to him, he'll fly back into this like gas can and blow that up. So that could be a load of them dead over there, and it wasn't just your normal like go in, charge, beat them up, you win sort of thing. It was really like if you placed your characters in certain positions, you're putting them in the danger zone, and if you place them somewhere else, you can get like advantages of like sneaking up on them and stuff like that, which it totally surprised me in that lot. And actually playing it afterwards, I'm like, this deserves a lot more credit than it was worth. Like, did you ever play any of the Marvel Ultimate Alliance ones as well?
No.
That was like back on the I think PS2 again a lot, and that was you basically played through the storyline of I think it was I think it might have been Secret Wars actually that lot and the Civil War, yeah, because you played against in the Civil War acts and everything because you have like the pro registration group and the anti-registration group. I mean, you had battles and stuff like that. I see them games were just fantastic. I'd love to see them come back. So yeah, myself, there's loads of Marvel games that are so well,
Just when
so
you were
well.
talking about Midnight Suns, Marvel Snap is another really good one that I play
Yeah,
almost
yeah,
every day. I go on it and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna play like
yeah,
3 or 4 games of this. I really
yeah.
enjoy that one, and it's like a mobile and PC one, but it's really really fun, honestly.
It's addictive as well. That
Yeah, true.
and you played Marvel Strike Force as well.
I haven't, but I've like I haven't played that one. I've played Future Fight and Contest of Champions.
Oh, I've never played the other two in that lot, but so
Really?
recently, Jack Aldino on the channel showed me Marvel Strike Force, and I tell you what, I've got addicted to that as well now. Like, I'm going on it every single day. I'll just upgrade these characters, and like my top 5 characters on that are Deathpool, Deadpool, Captain America, Squirrel Girl, and Spider Hunter. Honestly, I just can't stop playing it. It's just so good in that lot. For, for myself, I'd have to put it in Marvel's court there for games that like.
Yeah,
Even though
definitely.
DC have got fantastic ones, Marvel have just got a wider range of brilliant games.
Yeah, I can't say no to the Spider-Man games because those are like so special to me.
Yeah.
So I can't throw those under the bus. So Marvel has to win for games for me. Comics now. For DC, based off my like the ones I've read in my collection, I'd say maybe I don't know, 65 to 70% of them are all Batman. So I don't have like a huge range, but based off the ones I've read, like they're pretty much all really good. So like The Long Halloween, Dark Victory, Batman Year One, The Killing Joke, Under the Red Hood, The Court of Owls is really good too. Um, I have Crisis on Infinite Earths, which is like DC's answer to Marvel's Secret Wars from the 80s.
Okay.
It's a classic, iconic DC story, and it's like I'll get to it, but yeah, I'll just save that for a couple minutes. Jack Kirby's New Gods, amazing. Like Jack Kirby, he's like the creator of so many Marvel characters, including Captain America. And he left Marvel to go to DC, and he created these
Yeah.
characters. He created Darkseid. He created like basically DC's villain that they're always looking back on. Like, how do we bring Darkseid into it? He's like their Thanos. Kingdom Come was incredible. And then Watchmen, masterpiece. It's so good. So personally, there's a lot of random stories and characters that no one cares for in DC. They just have a ton of characters that they haven't really tapped into all of them. They really just lean into Batman, Superman, Flash, maybe Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, them. Everyone else, it's like they're so forgettable. And with the comics, they use those crisis events to reset the continuity of their like ongoing story, like every 2 or 3 years, and everyone is so tired of those. Like, the reason they have the crisis events is when a story starts to underperform, they're like, yeah, crisis event, we're gonna restart. And they're like, well, you're just gonna screw it up again. Like, it's just a never-ending cycle with DC, at least for the modern stuff. But for me, a lot of the Batman stuff carries my thoughts on the comics, because that's just most of what I have. But some of the best comic storytelling, I think, from what I've read, is a lot from like the Batman stuff. So that's what I have to say for DC.
Yes, again, I can understand what you're saying. I'll say again, Res Talk, Batman comics. I'll give credit to Batman comics. I can't. I think the ones I've got was Hush. I think I've only got the first issue or something out of Hush. I've read The Killing Joke.
Oh, you
which
did?
I thought was fantastic. Yeah, I've read it. I've read it now.
Nice.
I see. I just thought it would bring brilliant that lot, but myself, when they have these crisis events and stuff like that sort of thing, it just was just pointless for me now. Like with Marvel, at least when they have an event to try and rewrite everything, that they do for me, they do it better. They do it well, just to clean the slate, and then go, right, here we go. Here's, like at the end of, as I said on my Comic Corner with Siege. With that, you can't. It's not really a crisis event, but it was a major event spanning a load of characters. And with that, it got rid of the Superhero Registration Act. It brought the team back together. Asgard was more on Earth now and had a link between Asgard and Midgard. And it brought them into the Heroic Age, which was a new era for Marvel. And they do ones like that better. Like when they do have these bigger, like Secret Invasion, you have Civil War and Civil War 2.
Yeah.
Just these big like events, they just do it better myself now. And they're not as close to each other. They're very, not sporadic, but it's probably every 4 to 5 years, maybe a bit longer. It's like they don't just try and cram everything at once. They do have like the odd issue where they're overlapping and stuff like that as well. But 9 times out of 10, it is literally just they concentrate on that character. If somebody comes into it, they're not overpowering. They're not like taking the shadow off what the main person's doing. Like with the Spider-Geddon as well, you have all the different Spider-Man people into it as well, and that was a good like showcase of what the Spider-Man ones have got. And then that finishes, and then they splinter off and do their own thing. Myself, it's just Marvel's got a better consistency at telling better stories than myself. Like I can't. Like I've got somewhere somebody gave me an Aquaman issue to read, and I read about 2 or 3 pages of it, and like I just can't get into it. There's just nothing. Like somebody's given me a Superman issue to read as well, and I just can't get into that. There we go. I agree with you. Reboots are tiring, especially with DC, but I like these characters too much. Yeah, which again, I can't blame you. Each to their own, my friend. Each to their own.
Now the issue with that is, like Marvel, like if you look at like a Marvel event, there's a high chance you can recognize pretty much anyone in a page, just like a page on its own. For DC, with a crossover event, you'd probably only recognize maybe 5 people out of the 20 that are standing there, because of the people that they don't tap into. Like they don't tap into any of the classic characters, or they're creating new ones that no one's connecting with. And like you said with Marvel, they've got some of the most iconic like comic stories of all time, with like Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity War, Secret Invasion, Secret Wars, Civil War, World War Hulk, House of M, Age of Apocalypse. Like everyone
Planet
knows.
Hulk.
Yeah, everyone knows those characters through like those comics, and I guess the movies have made people more aware of those characters, which DC hasn't really done. Obviously, people know Batman and Superman because they're two of the most popular superheroes ever, but no one's gonna know who, like Spectre is from DC, or Booster Gold, or maybe even Blue Beetle, because that movie wasn't really a hit, but I enjoyed it. And like some of Marvel's most recent comics haven't really intrigued me. Like it just feels like they're running out of ideas personally.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm lucky enough to always be able to recognise DC characters. Maybe because I've known them since I was little, but you're right.
like
Yeah.
I forget which one I have. It might even be Crisis on Infinite Earths, but there's so many characters in that story that I had no idea who they were. And that was like my first introduction to them. So it kind of, I don't know if it's because I wasn't connected to them, I didn't know who they were, so the story didn't land maybe as hard as it did for some other people. Because a lot of people die in that one too. So like a lot of them weren't really landing. But for the ones I did know, it did land because I knew who they were. And with Marvel, there's so
Yeah.
many characters that you can easily pick out, like, yeah, I know who that is. And when they're in those events, then it's very hard when you read that. Um, like,
Would you say as well though, when you just said about on Crisis and Crisis of Infinite Earth, when they die, do you think that has more of an impact when the characters die in the Marvel universe to DC?
well, personally, because I have a stronger connection to the Marvel characters, it's going to be Marvel that impacts me more. If let's say like Batman died, which
Yeah.
he did in a Crisis event, um, then that would hit too.
Mm.
But if it was some random like hero, like
Mm.
I don't know, Wildcat or
Yeah.
someone like that, then I'm like, yeah, I don't really care about that. Um, maybe Rez would, but
With on especially with especially with the first Civil War and that lot, when Ben Foster, Giant Man, gets killed,
yeah, that was
even though
shocking.
he's not a very that must mean, but even though he's not a very well known character, that still would get you then sort of thing. Even though he's not a well known character, that lot,
That
sort of
would
thing.
make me like go like, oh my god, they did that. If
Yeah,
it was like another like random DC character, I'd be like, okay, next page. Like
yeah,
that's what
exactly
I
that
do.
lot. So I mean, this is what I mean though. With even with the lesser known characters in that lot, somebody dies like that, and you're like, oh boy, okay, in that lot, that's I weren't expecting that sort of thing. Wildcat, that was a random one, Nathan.
See, like I'm thinking of the most like random DC heroes because like people like that are in those events, and when you see them, you're like, who's that again? I need to like pull up my phone. I need to look for this is, and by the time
Exactly,
I know who it is, I've lost interest in like going back to continuing the story.
exactly. That's what I mean. It's just I could hand on my heart, and I could easily say if I had a massive photo of loads of different characters on Marvel, 9 times out of 10, I'll be able to go right. This is all day long. With DC, I can't do that. Like you said, do about 10. That's about it.
Yeah, like I'm trying to find
About Red Tornado.
Red. Yeah, that's another one. Like no one really knows who that is. I'm just trying to find. Okay, here. No, those are villains. That wouldn't really be the same.
I tell you, if anybody's like likes quizzes as well, there's a website. See if I can get it up now. There's a website that do quizzes, and I went on one and got about 80% of the quizzes right. Was it Sporkle? Sporkle.com. You type in like a Marvel quiz on that. I got about 80% of it right, sort of thing, because I recognised even when it was in the comic book form, even I recognised them. I tried it
Yeah,
for a DC, I got about 25% because you just didn't know.
yeah, and I'd probably be the same because, like, I probably know like more DC characters than you think,
Yeah,
but compared to Marvel, it's like unparalleled. I'm just trying to. I
yeah.
did find a few. Sorry if this is wasting time.
No, that's right. I'm just getting loads of thingies coming through my phone now. I'm wondering what's going off now. Like, oh, I'm wondering if the old girl's playing on Tomb Raider.
Okay, here. So this is a cover. Look how many characters are on that cover. Oh, I'm trying to angle
There's
it.
quite a few, and
So I know like
there's quite a
Flash.
few,
I
but-
know
yeah,
Nightwing, Starfire. I don't know who that is. Blue Beetle. Like I know some of them because I read the event, but the average reader is
Yeah.
not going to know anyone really in this event. So that's kind
No.
of my point with DC versus Marvel. Like
Yeah.
Marvel's superior in comics.
yeah. Like I say, just like one of the facts I was looking up and that sort of thing. Do you know what the highest selling comic book is?
Is it an event or is it like a solo?
Just one issue. It's an introduction sort of thing. As
Is
well.
it Superman's?
No.
Is it
Yeah,
Spider-Man?
first question: Marvel or DC?
DC.
Nope. It's a Marvel issue.
Is it Spider-Man's first?
Nope. I'm surprised actually you not got it. For me, it's DC all day, but I do love comics in general. Well, you're one of us, Raz. You're one of us.
I honestly don't know.
X-Men #1.
Really? More than
Highest
Spider-Man
grossing.
and like the Avengers? Wow. That's a shock actually.
So I mean, just Marvel just do things better. They really do. This is why I say all along.
So I think we have our winner then. So I said for movies, Marvel definitely. Marvel wins that. Shows, DC by an inch, like by like
Yeah,
a very
not by
small amount.
much. Yeah.
Games, Marvel, and comics, Marvel. So in the end,
Hang on, just 1 minute. I'm just going to take my victory lap. I'm just going around the store. Yeah, thank you, everybody. Thank you. I appreciate you all. I love it. Yeah, I'll take my victory lap now. Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. I'll take me flowers later on. Thank you.
all right. So yeah, final winner is Marvel. Marvel is better than DC in this. But there's a reason why Marvel is a household brand to so many people. It's a huge success from the movies, shows, games, and comics. It's brought in millions of fans over the course of its existence, like probably more so than DC. They have made most of their characters super well loved, something that DC has lacked doing because of the number of people they have. Rez.
Really says who Raz says. I just can't. Sorry, well, whoever's watching this, if you're watching it or want to vote down below, you can more than gladly like to. I'll even put a poll out on my channel. I won't vote myself. I'll put a poll out on the channel, and you lot can all vote me amongst you.
And don't be mistaken, I'm still a DC fan as well as Marvel.
Yeah.
I just, in the end, Marvel is better. So DC has lacked with their. Sorry.
I've even got things like here's some more notes for you. So, how much are Marvel and DC worth?
Each?
Yeah.
Is it in the billions?
Yeah.
I'd say Marvel is between 5 and 10.
And the rest. This is including everything: comics, TV, games, everything.
Okay.
I'm a DC mad. Good lad. I like that's a good wordplay there.
I don't know, maybe 50 billion?
Yeah. So Marvel 54 billion,
Oh, so close.
DC 10 billion.
Wow. Okay.
Highest grossing Marvel film.
Endgame.
Yeah, 2.7 billion. Highest grossing DC film. This will shock you, I think.
Is it Batman v Superman because so many people were expecting it to be so much? It's not? Is it The Dark Knight?
This really shocked me when I was doing my research bits.
I'm trying to think if there's any recent ones. Is it Joker? Hold on.
Raz, Aquaman.
That's true. I forgot that crossed a
Raz,
billion.
Raz talked for the win. Yeah, Aquaman 1.1 billion.
I forgot that crossed a billion. Wow.
But just look at it. Look at the difference. 2.7 billion. Endgame 1.1. Do you know
And
what?
that's just
film
one. That's
did
one
even,
DC movie that made a billion. Well, I guess Dark Knight did too, but all the other like Marvel
Yeah.
ones, they've had like maybe 8 that have crossed a billion.
Do you know what Pixar film made more than Aquaman? Pixar film.
It's got to be one of the Toy Stories, right?
Oh no, sorry, Pixar superhero film. Sorry,
Oh, so it's The Incredibles then.
Incredibles 2
The second one.
made more than Aquaman. Yeah, made
Wow.
more than Aquaman.
Okay.
1.2 billion.
That's
Highest rating.
that's just really
It's just
surprising.
daft, isn't it?
Out of all the Pixar movies.
Exactly. Highest rated film on Rotten Tomato for Marvel.
Is it Infinity War?
Nope.
It's one of the Spider-Verse, isn't it?
It's a nope. Single film. One main character film of it.
Black Panther?
96%. IMDb. Highest ranked film
For Marvel?
for Marvel.
Is it one of the Spider-Man movies?
You've already said it. And one of your guesses, you already said it.
Infinity War. Okay.
8.4 stars. Now, again, DC, Rotten Tomato, what's the highest gross film? Highest ranked film on Rotten Tomato.
Is it The Suicide Squad? That one was pretty high, I thought.
It's still lower than Black Panthers.
I know there's...
This DC film is still lower than
I've
Black
seen
Panther.
their chart. It's like really low, and out of nowhere there's a peak and it goes back down. Oh, I forget which one though. I can't think of it.
For Rotten Tomato and IMDb, 94% for Dark Knight on Rotten Tomato.
How did I not get that?
I knew you shoot yourself when you say that. And then 9 stars. So it is ranked higher than Avengers: Infinity War for Dark Knight as on IMDb. But it just shows you if they're going that far back. I know it's not that long ago, but you're going that far back
16
for a
years.
decent DC film. So I mean, it just tells you like they had their peak then, and they just got nothing now. Just shows you that like, this is why I said
It's a shame.
It is. Now, James Gunn, going forward with it,
Yeah.
I'll be very intrigued to see how he goes with it. I'll be well looking forward to it. Hello. Do you want to come and say hello as well? Wonder Woman. You come say hello. Want to say hello to all the viewers?
Hi.
Hello.
Bye.
That's the old girl. That's Danger Daughter. It's a shame. That's true. Yes.
Like you were saying with James Gunn, I think he understands that universe really well. I think he's gonna be like a very big force to kind of bring those like the lesser known characters. Like I was talking about, there's all these lesser known characters in that universe, and it looks like he's really pushing for them to be known. Kind of like what he did with the Guardians, because not a lot of people knew who the Guardians were, and he made them household names. So he's gonna make characters in Superman like Metamorpho and Hawkgirl and Mr. Terrific. Like he's gonna make all of them household names, hopefully.
Yeah.
But like I have faith in him. It's just I need to see something from him, like from Superman, from any of that, to actually see if it's gonna like live up to what the old stuff did.
Oh yeah, massively. And like I said, I'll have all faith in James Gunn doing well. I think he's a brilliant director, and he's probably got a brilliant vision. So I'd be more inclined to watch the new DC coming forward and that lot, but they just need to just do it well. That's all I can say in that lot sort of thing.
Yeah.
If he does it well, then I could see him being a very big challenger towards Marvel. I
And
really
they
can.
need
But
need Superman to be a hit, because if that's the premiere to their
Yeah.
universe and it flops,
Yeah.
then that's a big issue.
Yeah, massive now.
I don't want DC.
I
to
don't
look
want
like
DC to look like them.
That's gonna be difficult.
I
I
dunno,
think he's gonna
yeah.
try his best to differentiate the two, but in the end, he's got to be following the same kind of formula in some way.
Yeah, he's gonna be very. He's been too much in the weeds with Marvel, so some of them things he's gonna be bringing across and
Probably.
like using the same sort of format and stuff like that sort of thing. So it's gonna look like it, but it just depends if he can distinguish it away from him. Really,
Yeah. So, Marvel's a pop culture
That's it,
icon.
yeah.
DC is it's an some of them are icons. It's just they're not quite there.
Yeah, exactly that. Well, so yeah, I'll.
That's it. Marvel wins.
But no, yes, thank you much for joining us on this other episode of Project Assemble. Again, Raz, I know you want the most talk of a two person on here, mate, so I appreciate you coming on and joining in with this
Definitely.
highly anticipated debate. Have you got anything coming out in the next few days?
I've got the next episode for Forging the New MCU on Friday. That one is Captain America. So that's where the story comes back into play. Like, yep, there he is. And then I've shot the next two, and so I just need to edit them for the week after that, and then the week after that. So just trying to
This
get
is
some
not canon.
content piled up.
DC win everything. No. It's been decided. I told you. I'll put a poll out. After the things is aired. If you want to go and vote for DC there, you can go and vote for DC there, my friend Daniel. But I'll put a poll out for a week. I think if I can. We'll see.
I might do the same for
But yes,
mine too.
yeah. But yeah, definitely go and check out that one. That lot. I say I've been loving his forging the new MCU and that lot, and seeing him explain each individual show, each individual film, which is well worth going and have a look at a lot. We've got a bonus episode of Lego Marvel coming out today on Marvel Mad. Probably a couple of hours after this live stream, as well as on Friday, because it is the King and Queen of the Ring in Saudi Arabia on Saturday for WWE. We have another WWE My GM mode coming out on the Friday. So yes, and it's the run up to our WrestleMania and the end of season 1 on My GM mode. So yes, go in there, definitely check that out and see how myself, Captain Coffee, can go up against Jack and DC and hopefully try and bring it back for Marvel. But it's not looking good so far. They are Raz. Look, DC's winning. They are.
In the wrestling world.
But yes, yeah, in the wrestling world, you got DC and ECW and that lot. You're kicking my ass completely. So you've got that. You got to win. You got a W. But yes, now thank you very much for joining us on another episode of Project Assemble with myself, Dwayne the Captain Coffee, and Nate from Thwip Media, and we will see you all next time on another episode of Project Assemble. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for joining us.